Have you ever found yourself at a crossroads in a relationship, recognizing that your self-worth surpasses the emotional turbulence you've endured? Have you ever summoned the courage to leave, not driven by frustration, but guided by clarity and self-awareness? Trust me, when a woman realizes she has genuinely lost you, it strikes her with an unrelenting force, like an icy, sobering reality. But here's the catch: this is the moment when you, as a man of high value, demonstrate the true strength of mastering your emotions. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, emphasized a profound lesson: emotional detachment is not a sign of weakness but a testament to inner strength. When a woman senses that you've withdrawn your emotional availability, it triggers a deeper conflict within her. It's not just the pain of losing you, it's the stark understanding that she has lost someone who stands whole and fulfilled without her. The Stoics taught that self-sufficiency, steadfast adherence to one's principles, and inner harmony are traits that make a person truly magnetic. Let's delve into the complexities of her emotional landscape and explore the raw truths she encounters when faced with the loss of a grounded, high-value man like you. The first shock. This isn't just a passing feeling, it's a profound wave of realization that hits her hard and refuses to be ignored. Picture this: you were a steady presence in her life, a man driven by purpose, not desperation. You never sought her approval or clamored for her attention, and when you decided to step away, it awakened something deep within her. At that moment, when she understands that you're no longer emotionally accessible or striving to meet her needs, the reality sinks in. You see, women are instinctively drawn to security, but not just any kind. They yearn for a profound emotional stability, a connection with a man who is resolute, composed, and firmly rooted in his own values. When you pull back and stop chasing her validation, you leave an emotional gap that she simply cannot fill. By removing your emotional presence, you force her to face the undeniable truth: you're far more irreplaceable than she ever realized. Marcus Aurelius, the famed Roman emperor and Stoic thinker, captured the essence of emotional mastery when he wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." This principle is exactly what you embody when you remain composed and detach with grace. It's not about seeking revenge or proving a point, it's about showing that your self-worth and emotional stability are independent of her actions or existence. Like the Stoics, you choose to stay grounded, unshaken by the world around you. By stepping back emotionally, you send a clear message: you do not operate in response to her actions. You are not a pawn in her game, and that realization carries immense weight. She will sense the change, the void left by your absence, because you've stopped playing by her rules. The impact isn't just about her missing your presence, it's the deeper understanding that you are a man with the inner strength to walk away, unbound by fleeting emotions or temporary circumstances. You hold the control, and trust me, that recognition cuts deep. Regret and introspection. She starts to question herself: why didn't I see this sooner? The reality is that women are naturally wired to evaluate their surroundings constantly, and when something precious is taken away, their minds shift into overdrive. It's as if a switch has been flipped. Suddenly, she's scrutinizing every choice she made, every word she spoke, and every action during the relationship. The Stoics understood this phenomenon well. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When she loses you, her thoughts inevitably turn inward. She begins to reflect deeply on her behavior, why she might have overlooked your worth or taken you for granted. This period of self-reflection can linger for weeks, sometimes even months. Here's the reality, warrior: women are drawn to challenges. When you step back and stop pursuing her, the dynamic shifts entirely. She starts questioning herself: was I too distant? Did I make him feel undervalued? She'll dig through her actions, searching for the moment she lost you. While her pride may keep her from admitting it outright, the regret begins to take root deep within her. Don't fall for the idea that all women are immune to this kind of introspection. Even the most self-assured, independent woman will, at some point, reflect on her behavior and wonder where things went wrong. But this isn't about making her feel guilty or regretful. It's about her coming to terms with the reality that the man who once stood beside her has grown beyond her grasp. She starts to feel the weight of her missteps, prompting her to reevaluate everything she thought she understood about relationships. Yearning to reconnect. When a woman comes to terms with losing you, the next emotional wave is a powerful desire to reconnect. This isn't just a fleeting wish, it's a profound, almost instinctive need to draw you back into her world. Here's where things get interesting, warrior. Women are deeply emotional beings, and when they realize the value of what they've lost, their instinct is to mend the bond. She'll begin subtly, sending casual messages, dropping hints, or starting light conversations that appear innocent. But make no mistake, this isn't mere curiosity. It's a deliberate, biologically driven attempt to regain control. When a woman senses her position is at risk, her instincts push her to re-establish that connection and restore what she feels she's lost. When you stay indifferent to her efforts, it only intensifies her drive to prove she can win you back. Here's the truth, this longing stems from her need to regain the emotional security you once provided. As a high-value man, you must recognize that by staying composed and refusing to reconnect on her terms, you only strengthen your position. You are no longer the man she can take for granted or expect to respond to her every beck and call. Your emotional detachment becomes your greatest strength. But keep this in mind, it's not about engaging in mind games. It's about fully understanding your value and refusing to settle for anyone who fails to honor and respect it. Here's something important to consider, women often confuse their emotional yearning with a genuine desire to reconnect. What they're truly seeking, however, is the sense of control, the reassurance that they can still influence your emotions and actions. This is precisely why you must stand firm and never waver under pressure. Warrior, when you move forward with grace and emotional resilience, you're imparting one of the most profound lessons she can ever learn, that her choices, actions, and words carry weight, and they come with consequences. By holding your ground, you reinforce the value of self-respect and the importance of accountability. Persistent memories. When she loses you, it's not just the void of your absence that lingers, it's the vivid memories of what you once shared. These moments become like persistent echoes, replaying in her mind and serving as constant reminders of what she had and ultimately let slip away. Initially, these memories may appear as fleeting flashes, perhaps triggered by a familiar street or a song that brings you to mind. But over time, they don't diminish, instead, they intensify. These recollections act as an emotional tether, binding her to a past she can't easily escape or forget. It's more than just nostalgia, it's the sting of understanding that what once felt unbreakable has slipped away. Believe me, warrior, that realization hits hard. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, wisely taught, be indifferent to the things that are not within your power. Those lingering memories become hers to carry, a weight she cannot simply set down. At first, she may try to convince herself she's moving on, pushing the thoughts aside. But the mind doesn't let go so easily. The past clings tightly, especially when it's intertwined with someone who mattered deeply. These memories turn into haunting reminders of the moments you shared, the way you made her feel, and the sense of certainty that once defined your connection. The true heartbreak lies in the fact that she can't recreate what you were. No matter how many times she replays those memories, the emotional bond and the unique dynamic you shared are gone for good. That's why those memories begin to sting even more. They don't just remind her of what she had, but of her own vulnerability and the fleeting nature of everything she once cherished. And here's where your strength shines, warrior. You've embraced the past as a teacher, not a place to dwell. You recognize that your value isn't tied to what you've lost but to your ability to rise and move forward. While she remains caught in a loop of nostalgia and regret, you stay grounded in the present, channeling your energy into growth and purpose. Your path remains steady and resolute, while she, burdened by her memories, struggles to break free from the grip of what once was. Pondering what-ifs. Warrior, when the dust finally settles and the reality of loss takes hold, a profound psychological shift begins within her. She starts to wrestle with the question that has haunted so many before her: what if I had done things differently? This internal dialogue carries the heaviest emotional weight. What if I had shown more patience? What if I had truly listened? What if I hadn't let my insecurities drive him away? These what-ifs become mental snares, trapping her in a cycle of reflection and regret. They force her to relive past choices, creating an unending loop of self-blame and the gnawing realization that her actions may have led to the loss of something irreplaceable. And while these what-ifs may seem like harmless reflections, they are far more insidious than they appear. They warp her sense of reality, luring her into the false belief that she can somehow rewrite the past or repair what's already broken. But as Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, wisely observed, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. These what-ifs are mere illusions, scenarios conjured by the mind but empty of substance or possibility. They lead to no resolution, offering nothing but a cycle of regret and frustration. Their only power lies in their ability to hold her back, keeping her from moving forward and preventing the personal growth that comes from accepting the past as it is. You've witnessed it before: when men fixate on what might have been, it stifles their growth and blocks their progress. The same holds true here. Those trapped in the cycle of what-ifs are unable to fully embrace the present or recognize the possibilities that surround them. And this, warrior, is where your Stoic resolve becomes your greatest asset. You refuse to dwell on the past or entertain hypothetical scenarios. You understand that the past is unchangeable, and your focus remains firmly on what lies ahead. You've embraced the truth that the only moment of real significance is the one you're living right now. While she becomes ensnared in the mirage of what-ifs, you stride forward with purpose, grounded in your principles and guided by the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. Acknowledging uniqueness. As the emotional fog dissipates, she arrives at the final and most profound stage of realization: the understanding that you are truly one of a kind. Irreplaceable. Warrior, know this: when you are a high-value man, one forged through discipline, wisdom, and emotional mastery, your absence is not easily filled. This realization isn't just about missing you on a surface level, it's the deeper recognition that what she shared with you was unparalleled. There is no other man who can replicate the depth of understanding, the unwavering emotional strength, or the unique presence you brought into her life. This is what sets you apart from every other man she's encountered. And when this truth finally dawns on her, she is left with no option but to accept that she has lost something truly extraordinary, something that cannot be replaced. But this journey isn't just about her realization, it's about you. Your true power lies in the mastery of living by your own principles. You are not controlled by fleeting emotions or momentary impulses. Like the Stoic philosophers, you remain steadfast, grounded in the values that define you. Consider Alexander the Great, a man who deeply understood his worth, inspiring admiration from those around him. He refused to settle for mediocrity, carving a path that reflected his vision and determination. You, too, live by your own unshakable code, a code that doesn't yield to the expectations or whims of others. And that, warrior, is the ultimate recognition, the acknowledgement that your strength lies in your unwavering commitment to yourself and the life you choose to build. When she finally grasps this truth, she may attempt to win you back. But remember, warrior, your uniqueness is not a commodity to be negotiated. You are the prize, and just as you've learned to accept responsibility for your choices, she must also come to terms with the consequences of hers. As Marcus Aurelius wisely counseled, don't waste time on what you can't control. You have no control over when or how she recognizes your value, but you have absolute control over your own actions. And it is through your actions, not words, not apologies, and certainly not regrets, that your strength and self-worth are most powerfully expressed. Final thoughts: the power of emotional control. Warrior, let me leave you with this lasting thought: when a woman realizes she has lost you, it's more than her shock or regret, it's a testament to the man you have become. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire with wisdom and unshakable composure, understood that true strength is born from within. They did not seek validation from others, nor did they succumb to transient emotions. They lived with unwavering purpose, guided by their own principles, refusing to be controlled by the chaos of the world around them. You embody that same power. Your worth is not determined by anyone else's perception but by the life you choose to lead and the values you hold steadfast. And that, my warrior, is precisely what you achieve when you walk away with composure and emotional mastery. There's no need to chase, plead, or justify yourself. Your control over your emotions speaks volumes, and it is this self-mastery that amplifies the weight of her loss. As you progress on your path of growth, hold on to this truth: your worth is not defined by how others see you. The Stoics understood this deeply. They reminded us that true power lies in detachment, in recognizing that you are whole and complete exactly as you are. This understanding is your greatest strength, one that no one can take from you. So, warrior, if you're ready to embrace the Stoic mindset, to stay emotionally grounded and resolute in your purpose, leave a comment below saying, "Challenge accepted." Together, let's keep growing, evolving, and becoming the men who live with unyielding strength and clarity. For more insights and wisdom, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This journey to inner strength and purpose is just beginning, and there's so much more to discover.